Love is not just an emotion, it is a long journey filled with challenges, learning, and growth. But do we truly understand love, or are we merely drifting through its ups and downs? Love is a complex emotion, sometimes bringing overwhelming happiness, other times filled with worries. In a world where relationships often come and go quickly, how can you tell if he truly loves you or if it's just a fleeting feeling? What signs indicate that his love is genuine, or simply a momentary interest? Let's explore the most important characteristics that reveal whether a man is truly worthy of your heart. Welcome to the Sophia's Knowledge channel, and my name is Sophia. This is where we explore real-life stories, profound lessons, and valuable experiences about love. Today, in this video, I will share with you 7 signs that he truly loves you, or if it's just temporary, a fresh perspective to help you build and sustain a lasting love. If you've ever questioned your relationship, don't skip this video. To get the best experience, find a quiet place, put on your headphones, and fully immerse yourself in what I'm about to share. Relax, and let everything flow naturally. Let's discover together the secrets to living more fully in every relationship. Let's get started. Sign 1. Does he prioritize you? A key sign to recognize true love. In a relationship, love is not only expressed through words but also through actions. One of the most important signs to know if he truly loves you is how he prioritizes you in his life. Because when a man loves sincerely, he won't just see you as part of his free time, you are an important part of his life. But how can you tell if he truly prioritizes you? Let's look at the signs below. He makes time for you even when busy. Everyone has work, responsibilities, and other relationships. A man who truly loves you will never use being busy as an excuse to avoid spending time with you. Instead, no matter how packed his schedule is, he will always find ways to meet you, text you, call you, or simply check in on you genuinely. Think about it. If he can spend hours playing games or hanging out with friends but always says, "I'm busy whenever you want to meet," do you really matter to him? He takes the initiative to plan for both of you. A man who truly loves you doesn't just wait for you to ask him out, he takes the initiative to make plans. It could be a weekend date, a short trip, or even small things like cooking together or watching a movie at home. On the other hand, if you're always the one who has to suggest everything, always asking, "When will we meet?" then perhaps you are not his top priority. He remembers what's important to you. A man who values you will never forget special days like your birthday, anniversaries, or even small details you once shared. He will remember your favorite food, the movie you want to watch, or even stories you told him a long time ago. If he truly cares about you, things related to you will naturally become part of his thoughts. But if he forgets everything and only remembers things about himself, you may not be that important to him. He includes you in his future plans. One of the surest ways to know if you are a priority is whether he includes you in his future plans. A man who truly loves you doesn't just think about the present but also envisions how the two of you will be in a year, 2 years, or even longer. Has he ever talked about traveling together next year? Has he mentioned introducing you to his family or having a shared future plan? If yes, that's a very positive sign. But if he always avoids future conversations or vaguely says, "Let's see how things go," then you might just be a temporary choice rather than a real priority. He is willing to adjust for you. No one can change completely for another person, but if a man truly loves you, he will be willing to make small adjustments in his habits or lifestyle to better suit you. This doesn't mean he loses himself, but he will make small compromises to make you happy. For example, if you like evening walks but he usually prefers staying in, he will still try to go for a walk with you because he knows it's important to you. However, if he constantly dismisses your suggestions with excuses like "I don't like that," "I don't have time," or "You have to accept me as I am," then maybe you are not a priority in his life. When there's conflict, he chooses to resolve it instead of ignoring it. Every relationship faces conflicts. But how he handles these issues will show you your place in his heart. If he truly values you, he will try to talk things through, explain, and find a solution together. But if he always stays silent, avoids problems, or even cuts off contact for days, then you may not be important enough for him to worry about losing you. He protects you in front of others. A man who truly loves you won't let anyone hurt you, whether through words or actions. If someone speaks negatively about you, he will stand up for you. If you're in trouble, he will be there to support you. On the other hand, if he is indifferent, doesn't care how others treat you, or even joins in teasing you, then you might not be a significant priority in his life. In love, being a priority is not about promises or sweet words, it's about real actions. If a man truly loves you, you will never have to ask yourself, am I important to him? Because he will show you through his actions every single day. Observe how he spends time with you, how he treats you in difficult times, and how he includes you in his future. If you only appear in his life when he has nothing else to do, maybe it's time to reconsider the relationship. You deserve a love where you are not just an option, but a priority. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends or family to spread the value. And if you have any questions or ideas, leave them in the comments. I'm always listening and ready to answer. Let's continue together. Sign 2. Is he serious about the relationship? Signs of genuine love. In love, no one wants to waste time on a relationship where the other person isn't serious. When entering a relationship, the most important thing is that both partners share the same direction, building and growing together. But how can you tell if he is truly serious about you or just playing around? This is a question that many people ponder, especially when emotions deepen, but uncertainty lingers about the partner's intentions. If you are also wondering about this, let's explore the clear signs that can help you determine whether he is genuinely serious or not. Does he want to make the relationship public? A man who is serious about love will not hesitate to introduce you to the people around him. He will proudly introduce you to his friends, family, colleagues, and be happy to have you by his side. On the other hand, if he always tries to keep things a secret, avoids posting anything about you on social media, or dodges questions about your relationship, then he may not be serious. A man who truly loves has no reason to hide his partner. Does he talk about your future together? When someone is truly in love, they naturally want to build a long-term future with their partner. If he is serious about you, he will not hesitate to discuss the future, whether it's simple plans like traveling together or more significant matters like living together or marriage. However, if he always avoids conversations about the future, only wants to enjoy the present without any long-term plans, then you need to be cautious. Sometimes, this is a sign that he only sees the relationship as temporary fun. Does he make you a priority? A serious man won't see you as just an option but as an essential part of his life. He will be willing to adjust his schedule, make time for you, and ensure that you always feel valued. Conversely, if he only reaches out when he is free, never makes an effort to change anything for you, or consistently places you at the bottom of his priority list, then he might not genuinely value the relationship. Does he respect your opinions and feelings? Respect is a crucial foundation of a serious relationship. If he truly loves you, he will listen and care about your thoughts and emotions. He won't impose his views on you but will instead show empathy and share perspectives. But if he frequently dismisses your opinions, ignores your feelings, or always insists that he is right in every situation, then he may not truly value the relationship. Does he make an effort to resolve conflicts? Every relationship encounters disagreements. The key is how both partners handle them. A serious man will always try to resolve issues and be willing to sit down and communicate instead of staying silent or walking away. However, if he chooses to avoid conflicts, remains silent for days, or blames you without ever reflecting on himself, then he may not genuinely want to sustain the relationship. Is he willing to change for you? No one is perfect, but a man who truly loves will be willing to adjust himself to improve the relationship. If something hurts you or makes you unhappy, he will try to change and better himself. On the other hand, if he always says, "This is who I am, you have to accept it," or refuses to change anything to make you happier, then he may not care about the longevity of the relationship. Does he actively care for and support you? Love isn't just words, it's also actions. A serious man will always care for you in even the smallest ways. He will notice when you are tired, worry when you are sad, and be ready to help when you need him. But if he only appears when he wants something, doesn't care whether you are happy or sad, or loves you only when things are easy but disappears when you face difficulties, then you should reconsider whether he is truly serious. A serious relationship is not just about words but also about real actions. If he truly loves you, you will feel his sincerity through how he spends time with you, includes you in his future plans, respects your feelings, and continuously makes an effort to nurture the relationship. On the other hand, if he only reaches out when it's convenient for him, refuses to make the relationship public, avoids serious conversations, and never prioritizes you, then you might be in a relationship where only you are truly invested. You deserve to be loved by someone who is serious, sincere, and cherishes you. Don't waste your time on a relationship where you are not a priority. If you are still watching the video, do not hesitate to comment continue. Leave your thoughts and questions below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing your opinions, and do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia has more motivation to create more good and meaningful videos. Let's continue together. Sign 3. Does he care about your feelings? A sign to recognize true love. In a relationship, emotions are a crucial factor that helps two people bond and understand each other. A man who truly loves you will not only care about your appearance or the joyful moments you share but will also pay attention to your emotions, the things that make you happy, the sadness you hide, or the worries no one else sees. But how do you know if he truly cares about your feelings? Is he loving you with all his heart, or does he see you as just a temporary relationship? Let's explore some important signs below. Does he listen to you sincerely? A man who cares about your feelings will genuinely listen when you speak. He will pay attention to every story, every thought, even the little things you share daily. He doesn't just nod for the sake of it but responds, asks questions, or offers sincere advice. When you're sad, he doesn't rush to judge or provide a solution immediately but gives you space to express yourself. On the other hand, if he only listens superficially, interrupts you to talk about himself, or forgets what you just said, he may not truly care about your emotions. Does he notice when you're sad? Have you ever been in a situation where you were clearly upset, but he didn't notice? A man who truly loves you will have a certain sensitivity to your emotions. He will notice if you suddenly become quiet, your eyes dim, or your voice sounds tired. Even without you saying anything, he will ask, "Are you okay?" or "Is something bothering you?" and genuinely care about your answer. But if he is indifferent, doesn't notice your change in mood, or only asks casually without truly wanting to know the reason, he may not consider you an important part of his life. Does he support you when you have problems? A man who cares about your feelings won't disappear when you face difficulties. When you have a bad day, when work stresses you out, or when you feel down about life, he will be there to support and comfort you. He may not be able to solve your problems, but his presence is enough to make you feel secure. It could be a simple text saying, "I know today was tough for you, stay strong," or a date where you can freely share your worries. But if he only shows up when you're happy and is always busy when you need support, he may not truly care about your emotions. Does he respect your feelings? Respecting emotions doesn't mean always agreeing with you, but rather understanding and accepting what you're going through. A man who genuinely loves you will never say things like, "You're too sensitive," "There's nothing to be sad about," "You're overreacting." Instead, he will acknowledge your emotions and try to help you feel better. If you're upset about something small, he won't dismiss it but will find a way to address it with you. But if he often ignores your feelings, thinks you're overreacting, or even mocks you for being vulnerable, he may not truly appreciate you. Does he do small things to make you happy? Sometimes, love isn't about expensive gifts or fancy dates but the little things he does every day to make you happy. It could be a good morning text, buying your favorite milk tea, or simply remembering that you like sitting by the window at a cafe. A man who cares about your feelings will always want to make you happy, even in the smallest ways. But if he never does anything to bring you joy and only focuses on his own emotions, you might be in a one-sided relationship. When you argue, does he care about your feelings? Every couple argues sometimes, but how he reacts during conflicts says a lot about how much he cares about you. A man who truly loves you won't just try to win the argument but will also pay attention to your emotions. He will know when to listen, when to soften his tone, and most importantly, he won't say things to hurt you. But if he always insists on being right, uses harsh words to overpower you, or even ignores you after an argument, he may not genuinely care about your feelings. Does he appreciate the things you do for him? Love is not just about receiving but also about gratitude and appreciation. If you spend time cooking him a meal or putting effort into making him a thoughtful gift, does he notice? A man who truly loves you will never take your efforts for granted. He will appreciate and thank you, no matter how small the gesture. But if he only takes and never acknowledges what you do for him, he may not truly care about your feelings. In the end, a happy relationship isn't just built on initial attraction but, more importantly, on how two people care for and understand each other. If he truly loves you, he will never ignore your emotions. He will listen, care, support you when you're down, and do everything he can to make you feel loved. On the other hand, if he only shows up when things are good, ignores your feelings, and never considers what you're going through, then maybe it's time to reconsider your relationship. You deserve a love where your emotions are respected, cherished, and truly valued. Sign 4. Does he respect you? An important sign of a lasting love. Love is not just about sweet words or romantic gestures, it is also about respect. When a man truly loves you, he will not only care about your feelings but also treat you with deep respect. Respect in love is not just about daily conversations or behavior but is also reflected in the way he sees you as a true companion. If you feel that you are not being valued in the relationship, it may be time to reassess your feelings. Let's explore the signs that show whether he truly respects you or not. Does he respect your opinions? One of the clearest signs of respect is whether he values your thoughts and opinions. In conversations, when you share your thoughts, does he listen and consider them? If he truly respects you, he will not dismiss your ideas rudely or belittle them. On the contrary, if he always assumes he is right, constantly rejects your opinions without consideration, or even mocks your perspective, it is a sign that he does not truly respect you. A man who genuinely loves you will always listen and appreciate your thoughts, even if he does not completely agree. Does he respect your personal space? No matter how much two people love each other, everyone needs personal space to grow and maintain their own interests and habits. A man who respects you will not be overly controlling or demand that you spend all your time with him. If he constantly wants to control your activities, requires you to report everything to him, or gets upset when you spend time on yourself, with your family, or with friends, then that is not love, it is control. On the other hand, if he always supports your passions, respects what you enjoy, and does not impose anything on you, that is a clear sign of respect and love. Does he respect your boundaries? In any relationship, setting boundaries is crucial to ensuring both partners feel comfortable and safe. A man who truly loves you will never force you to do something you do not want to do. Does he respect your decisions when you refuse something? Does he pressure you in emotional matters or make demands that make you uncomfortable? If he constantly tries to persuade you to do something against your will or shows anger when you say no, then he does not truly respect your boundaries. Conversely, if he always seeks your opinion before making decisions that involve both of you and never makes you uncomfortable, that is a good sign that he truly respects you. Does he respect your feelings? A man who truly loves you will never disregard your feelings. He will not mock you when you are sad, dismiss your worries as irrational, or belittle what you are experiencing. If, whenever you are upset, he says things like, "Don't overreact, there's nothing to cry about," or "You're too sensitive," that is not respect. A man who loves you will understand that your emotions matter and will try to help you feel better rather than ignoring or dismissing them. Does he respect what you do? No matter what job you have or what passion you pursue, a man who truly loves you will never belittle your work or achievements. He will always be proud of what you accomplish and support you in your growth. On the contrary, if he constantly makes sarcastic remarks about your job, criticizes your hobbies, or never acknowledges your efforts, it is a sign that he does not truly respect what you do. Does he respect how you treat others? Respect is not just between the two of you but also in how he perceives the way you treat the world around you. A man who loves you will not demand that you change yourself just to please him. If he asks you to cut off friendships, change your dressing style, or alter your lifestyle according to his preferences without considering your desires, then he may not truly respect who you are. True love is not about possession or changing each other to fit a mold. It is about accepting each other's true selves and growing together. Does he respect you during arguments? Every couple will have disagreements at some point. However, what matters is how he treats you in those moments. A man who truly respects you will never raise his voice, insult you, or use hurtful words to win an argument. Instead, he will try to discuss things calmly and find solutions rather than blame you. If every time you argue, he insults you, says hurtful things, or even acts aggressively, that is a clear sign that he does not respect you. Love cannot last without respect. A man who truly loves you will not only cherish the happy moments but also treat you with consideration in every action and word. If he always listens to you, respects your thoughts, feelings, and personal space, that is a sign that he truly loves you. Conversely, if you constantly feel disregarded, controlled, or unvalued, you may need to reconsider the relationship. You deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel happy, not in a relationship where you constantly feel unimportant. Sign 5. Does he spend time with you without any benefit? The most honest measure of love. In a relationship, time is the clearest proof of love. A man who truly loves you will not only appear when he needs something from you but will also be by your side even when there is no benefit involved. He doesn't see you as just an option when he's free, but as an important part of his life. But how can you tell if he genuinely spends time with you out of love or just for his own reasons? Let's analyze the key signs that reveal his true feelings. Does he take the initiative to make plans with you? A man who truly loves you won't just wait for you to invite him out, he will take the initiative to plan dates himself. It could be something as simple as going for a walk, having dinner, or just sitting together with no specific reason. On the other hand, if he only texts or calls when he needs something, or only invites you when there's some benefit for him, such as attending events, work gatherings, or social meetups where you're just a plus one, then you might not be a priority in his heart. Does he show up when you need him? When you're tired, facing challenges, or simply having a bad day, does he take the time to be there for you? A man who loves you will not wait for you to ask for support, he will voluntarily be there for you, even if it's just to listen and comfort you. But if he's only around when everything is going well and disappears when you need a shoulder to lean on, always giving excuses like "I'm busy, let's do it another time," or worse, completely ignoring you, then you need to reconsider his true feelings. Does he spend time with you without a specific plan? A genuine relationship doesn't always require extravagant dates or detailed plans. Sometimes, just being together, talking, watching a movie, cooking, or taking a walk is enough to show love. If he truly loves you, he won't need a reason to see you. He might drop by just to talk, bring you your favorite drink, or simply want to see you, even for a brief moment. However, if every meeting always requires a specific purpose, such as work, dining out, shopping, or something that benefits him, then he may not truly value the time spent with you. Does he make time for you by adjusting his schedule? Of course, everyone has work, hobbies, and personal lives, but when a man truly loves you, he will be willing to adjust his schedule to make time for you. He won't always put you last, but will find a balance so you feel important. If he always has time for friends, gaming, work, or personal interests but never seems to fit you into his schedule, then you might just be a small part of his life rather than a real priority. Does he remember and care about the small details in your life? When a man loves you, he will notice the little things that make you happy and spend time doing them, even if they bring him no personal benefit. Does he remember your important presentation at work? Does he text you good luck before an exam or a job interview? If you're sick, does he check in on you and offer to visit? These small gestures are clear signs of true love. If he never remembers or cares about your important events, his feelings might not be deep enough. Does he spend time with you without rushing? A man who truly loves you won't just meet you for a few minutes and then rush off. He will want to enjoy every moment with you. If every time you meet, he seems in a hurry, constantly checking the clock, and doesn't spend quality time with you, you might not be an important part of his life. On the other hand, if he can sit with you for hours, just talking, listening, or simply being by your side without needing to do anything, then that's a sign of genuine love. Does he include you in his long-term plans? One of the best ways to know if he truly spends time with you out of love is to see if he includes you in his long-term plans. Does he talk about a future together? Does he mention going on trips with you next year? Does he plan special occasions with you in advance? If he constantly avoids conversations about the future, only meets you when it benefits him, or when he has no one else to spend time with, then he may not be serious about you. In the end, time is one of the most valuable things people can give each other. A man who truly loves you won't need a specific reason to be with you. He will willingly spend time with you, not for any benefit, but simply because he wants to be by your side. On the other hand, if he only appears when he needs something, when he feels lonely, or when there's a personal advantage, then you might just be a temporary choice in his life. You deserve to be loved and cherished by someone who is willing to spend time with you, not for any reason other than pure, genuine love. Sign 6. Does he remember the little things about you? A sign of genuine care. When in love, it's not just grand promises or expensive gifts that demonstrate true affection. Sometimes, it's the small, ordinary details that he remembers about you that truly show how much he loves you. A man who genuinely loves you will always pay attention to things that others might overlook, from your favorite food and the song you often listen to your little daily habits. But how can you tell if he really pays attention to the small details about you? Let's explore this sign further. Does he remember your favorite food? One of the easiest signs to recognize is whether he remembers what you like to eat. If he can instantly recall your favorite dish, pick the right type of coffee you usually drink, or order the correct item from the menu without needing to ask again, that's a clear sign he truly pays attention to your preferences. On the other hand, if every time you meet, he has to ask, "What do you like to eat again?" or "What do you want to drink?" "I forgot," then perhaps he hasn't really been paying attention to these little things about you. Does he remember the memories you shared? Love isn't just about the present, it's also about cherishing the beautiful memories you've shared. If he frequently recalls special moments between the two of you, like your first meeting, an exciting trip, or a funny story that made you both laugh, that's a clear sign he treasures every moment with you. But if you notice that he rarely, if ever, brings up any shared memories, it might mean he hasn't truly kept those moments in his heart. Does he notice the things you dislike? Caring isn't just about remembering what you like, it's also about understanding what you don't want. A man who truly loves you will avoid doing things that upset you. He'll remember that you don't like spicy food, that you don't enjoy sugary drinks, or that you dislike a particular movie. Conversely, if he repeatedly does things you've already mentioned you don't like, he may not be paying enough attention to your feelings. Does he remember special occasions? People in love often consider anniversaries and special occasions important. If he remembers your birthday, the anniversary of when you met, or even the day you achieved something significant, it's a strong sign that you hold a special place in his heart. However, if he frequently forgets these important dates or only remembers them when you remind him, you might need to reconsider whether his feelings are truly deep. Does he notice small changes in you? A man who genuinely cares will immediately notice when you change your hairstyle, wear a new lipstick shade, or put on a dress you've never worn before. These small details show that he's always paying attention to you, even when you think no one notices. If he often compliments these little changes, it proves that he truly focuses on you in a special way. Does he remember the little stories you tell? During conversations, you might casually mention a favorite book, a movie you watched, or a funny family story. A man who loves you won't just listen, he'll remember. Later on, he might bring up those stories, ask you more about them, or even suggest watching the movie you mentioned. But if he never remembers the small stories you share or repeatedly asks for the same information, then maybe he hasn't been paying enough genuine attention to you. Does he remember your daily habits? True love often comes with a deep understanding of each other's habits. Someone who loves you will know whether you wake up early or late, whether you like jogging in the morning or sipping coffee before work. He'll remember what you usually do on weekends and may even adjust his schedule to fit yours. If he doesn't know or never seems to care about these habits, he might not have truly invested his heart in the relationship. Does he remember the things you wish for? A man who loves you will pay attention to the things you want, even if you only mention them casually. For example, if you say you want to learn to play the guitar, he might remember and encourage you to take a class. If you once mentioned wanting to visit a certain place, he might surprise you by planning a trip there. However, if you've mentioned your desires multiple times and he has never acknowledged them or brought them up again, he may not be prioritizing you in his thoughts. When someone truly loves, they pay attention to even the smallest details about the one they love. A man who genuinely cares will remember your favorite things, the things you dislike, special occasions, and even the little stories you share. These seemingly small things are actually his way of showing just how important you are to him. On the other hand, if he never remembers anything you say, frequently forgets important details, and seems indifferent to what makes you happy, then perhaps his feelings aren't as deep as you'd hope. You deserve a love where every little thing about you is valued and remembered. Because it is these small details that truly define a sincere and lasting love. Sign 7. Is he willing to change for you? A test for genuine love. In a relationship, no one is perfect. However, when someone truly loves you, they will be willing to adjust themselves to become a better version, not just for their own sake, but also to make their loved one happier. Whether he is willing to change for you or not is one of the key signs that help you recognize if his feelings for you are genuine or just temporary. Of course, not all changes are meaningful, and not everything should be changed. But if he can acknowledge and is willing to adjust things that hurt you or make you uncomfortable, that is a sign of deep love and appreciation. Let's explore the key indicators that show whether he is ready to change for you. Does he listen to you? One of the first steps toward change is listening. When you share what makes you sad or disappointed, does he pay attention to your feelings? Does he genuinely listen to what you say and try to understand why you feel that way? If he doesn't care about what you say and always assumes everything is fine while dismissing your concerns as overreacting, then it will be hard for him to change. But if he takes the time to listen and puts himself in your shoes, That's a good sign he is willing to improve things so both of you can feel better. Does he acknowledge his mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone dares to admit them. A man who loves you will not stubbornly defend himself when it's clear that he is at fault. Instead, he will acknowledge his mistakes and be willing to make changes to ensure they don't happen again. If he constantly blames you, the circumstances, or refuses to take responsibility, he may not love you enough to work on himself. But if he can admit his faults and say, "I'm sorry, I'll try to do better next time," then you can feel reassured that he is genuinely trying to change for you. Is he willing to adjust his bad habits? Everyone has bad habits, but a person who truly loves you will recognize when those habits hurt or upset you. It could be that he frequently stays out late without informing you, forgets special occasions, or doesn't take the time to listen to you after a long day. If he is willing to change these habits, even little by little, that's a sign he truly values you and wants you to be happier. But if he always uses the excuse, "That's just who I am, you have to accept it," then his love may not be strong enough to drive meaningful change. Does he make an effort to make you happy? A man who loves you won't want to see you sad. If you tell him you need a little more attention, does he make an effort to change so you feel more loved? Sometimes, change doesn't have to be grand. It can simply be taking a few extra minutes each day to check on you, paying more attention to what makes you happy, or remembering small details that make you smile. If he does these things, you can be sure he is making an effort for you. Does he consider your opinion before making decisions? In a relationship, change also involves adjusting the way you communicate and make decisions together. A man who loves you will not make every decision on his own without considering your thoughts. He will value your opinion and be willing to adapt his way of handling things so both of you are satisfied. If he always acts on his own without caring what you think, it's likely that he doesn't truly prioritize you. But if he takes the time to discuss things with you, asks for your input, and adjusts his plans to suit both of you, that shows he wants to build a stronger relationship. Does he make an effort to balance you and his other priorities? One of the biggest changes a man can make is adjusting his time and energy to balance work, friends, and you. If he realizes he spends too much time on work and not enough on you, and then makes changes to his schedule so you feel prioritized, that's a very positive sign. On the other hand, if he always says he is too busy and cannot change anything, you may need to question whether his love for you is strong enough to make necessary adjustments. Is he patient with the process of change? Change doesn't happen overnight. A man who truly loves you won't just say, "I'll change," and then forget about it the next day. Instead, he will make an effort step by step, and more importantly, he will be patient to prove that his changes are genuine. If he keeps trying, even if it's difficult at times, that's a sign of real love. But if he only makes empty promises and does nothing, then you should reconsider his commitment to you. Love isn't about completely changing who you are but about making adjustments to be more compatible with each other. A man who truly loves you will be willing to listen, acknowledge his mistakes, and improve himself so you can be happier. On the other hand, if he insists on keeping everything the same and doesn't value your feelings, then his love might not be deep enough. You deserve to be loved by someone who is willing to do whatever it takes to keep your love strong and full of happiness. Conclusion. Love is an emotional journey, but to distinguish between genuine love and fleeting affection, we must observe how our partner behaves, feels, and expresses himself. A man who truly loves you doesn't just say sweet words or give expensive gifts. What really matters are his small actions, genuine care, and willingness to change for you. Through the signs we've discussed, you can see that true love doesn't lie in grand gestures. It is evident in how he prioritizes you, listens to your emotions, and, most importantly, his long-term commitment, even in adjusting personal habits to build a better relationship. If he remembers the little things, spends time with you without expecting anything in return, and is willing to improve himself for your happiness, that is the clearest proof of his true love. Genuine love doesn't just make you happy, It makes you feel truly cherished, respected, and understood. Remember, you don't have to settle for a relationship where you don't feel valued. Instead, seek and appreciate someone who is willing to make an effort for you, for your relationship, and for building a bright future together. That's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you found valuable lessons, and that these insights will help you in your journey of love. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting content in the future. I truly appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Wishing you a life full of love and happiness.